YSL RICO trial just changed forever. The judge had Young Thug's lawyer Brian Steele arrested in the middle of the courtroom today, as it all begins with a report of Young Thug's lawyer Brian Steele is done with the circus. He's never been this mad, rightfully so. Insanely passionate plea to the judge on behalf of himself and his client after Miss Love accuses him of hiding files from the state.
Judge Glam.
Sir.
You allow another moment when Miss Love calls me that I did not do something. They have the exact image of what we got from the jail in Fayette County. That is it. And if I get another false allegation and you do nothing, I'm shocked. I'm appalled in here. I sit here day after day with this false allegation just machine. I gave the state everything. There's been no disconstruction. There's been no purposeful, I don't care. I don't care. I give over everything. I've done this for 33 years. Never in my life have I seen a trial. I've done 300 appeals in the state of Georgia alone. I've never read a case like this. Judge, I gave them everything I had. I waited. I was at my office till 8, after 8 last night. I waited for their investigator to come by. I handed him an exact copy of thumb drive. They have everything that we got.
As the evidence that they are discussing here is Brian Steele stating that he has gotten intel from a source that YSL Woody is guilty of taking somebody out. However, only the judge's corner is supposed to know about that for right now. So the judge is about to ask Brian Steele, how in the world did you know about this? Because nobody else in the entire world is supposed to know as of now.
Note that for purposes of record.
Well, I'm going forward. What I was told was that Mr. Copeland said...
And you haven't answered my question yet.
I'm not going to answer that question.
You're not?
No, I will not answer that question.
Why will you not answer that question?
Because I want to make sure that what I say is accurate, and I'm not trying to...
No. I'm asking you, how did you get this information?
I'm not telling the court. What I'm saying is based upon information...
Okay, well, listen, if you don't tell me how you got this information, then you and I are going to have some problems.
We can have this... I got problems right now.
Okay, I know. Look, I don't want to know about your problems, okay, at this point in time. All I'm asking you at this point in time is, how did you come upon this information? Look, if the case gets reviewed... The record's going to be available for our appellate court and for whatever reason. But it's disturbing that how somehow you have surreptitiously gotten information in regards to the court's private ex parte conversation with a party. I mean,
a witness?
This caused a massive argument inside of the YSL trial. It got so bad that it would then even be reported. Here is the moment that Brian Steele was taken into custody for contempt. The deputy whispered in his ear that he wouldn't be cuffed. He was held in contempt for not revealing his source that told him what happened in an ex parte hearing this morning with Lil Woody.
Take Mr. Steele into custody, please. Yes, sir, you certainly may.
Mr. Williams does not wish to go forward without me being here. You are removing me against his will, my will. You're taking away his right to counsel. And you're conducting material parts of this trial without me present, and I can't learn about it by watching online. So for that reason, additionally, I asked for a mistrial.
As right here, Brian Steele is standing on business for his client Young Thug, sticking to the literal street code of never snitch, never tell. Sources inside of the room even shared that Young Thug was shaking his head up and down, showing that he respects his lawyer for what he just did. Now, while recording the video, it was just announced Brian Steele's jail sentence, and it reads, Young Thug's lawyer has been sentenced to 10 weekends in jail, 20 days, and he asks if the appeal doesn't get him a bond, is he allowed to spend those weekends in jail with Young Thug? The judge agreed. This means that Brian Steele will be bunkmates with Young Thug on weekends. Reports would then come out sharing Young Thug's co-counsel Keith Adams just said that he has the same information as Brian Steele and has now filed a motion for a mistrial. Hip-hop reporters would even share the Young Thug YSL trial is in shambles. Surely this is a mistrial within 24 hours. With even Lil Baby reacting, give Thug his mistrial, free slime. Now the mistrial hope will happen for one specific reason, and allow me to explain. It's all based on the prosecutors not doing their jobs correctly. It goes and reads, the judge in Young Thug's trial was just arguing with the state because they were unprepared with evidence.
That's too late. The evidence is excluded. The evidence is excluded. I'm going to exclude because I told you that this was going to happen. No. We're excluding that. This is the last. I am not going to tolerate this any further. If you don't get together with your colleagues and flag issues and resolve them promptly, and if I have to take them up, remember, I can exclude them. We'll work the weekends, or we'll do a combination of both. So this time, I'm going to exclude those two sections.
There's nothing.
I'm not going to have any more discussion about this, madam. I'm not. I don't. Well, you know what?
And I attempted to try to talk to them earlier this week.
Well, then that's why we have to.
The court punishes the state because the defense.
I'm not punishing anybody.
This then even led into the prosecutors having a meltdown inside of the courtroom, where it would be announced an ex-investigator with the Atlanta Police Department took a stand under cross-examination on Monday in the YSL RICO trial. During one moment, former investigator Lakia got into a brief exchange with Thug's defense attorney Max.
And D'Angelo White's response was, we had, correct?
Yes, he did say that, and it was more to that as well.
We had guns and
Yes, he stated that.
Okay. We, being plural, correct? Correct?
Are you insulting my intelligence by asking if we means plural? I think you are, though.
Okay.
I think you are.
All right, well,
Sir, don't do that. Don't do that.
All right, sir. Let's be respectful to our witness,
I'm
okay?
being very respectful, Judge, and I always will.
I doubt it.
What is happening here is that Young Thug's legal team is arguing that the Atlanta Police Department are trying to lie about evidence against Young Thug. Thug's main lawyer, Brian Steele, even called out the entire Atlanta Police Department for lying about evidence against him. It goes and reads, Your Honor, as my eyes roll, I'm about to show you why I don't believe the City of Atlanta Police Department at all.
I have
No recording of whom.
Detective Lewis at the hospital, Grady Hospital, September 11, 2013, meets with Walter Murphy. And Your Honor, as my eyes roll out of my head, I'm about to show you why I do not believe the City of Atlanta Police Department at all. This is served in discovery. I will mark it Mr. Williams C and D. And then you tell me if I'm supposed to believe the allegations from the state of Georgia.
The judge would end up calling out Young Thug's attorneys for stating that the Atlanta Police Department lies about evidence, because this is an extremely bold claim to make, and it can honestly affect their entire career in the long run, calling out police departments for lying about evidence when their jobs are to follow the law.
Well,
Not conceding that?
well, I'm going to tell you that I haven't heard anything that would indicate that's truth.
Yeah, well,
that you have a good faith basis to ask that.
You haven't heard anything of who he spoke with. That's my point.
That's the point.
He spoke
But
with
you all can't. But you two, neither one of you can proffer that.
Judge.
It's not proper, Mr. Steele.
No. Listen.
It's not. It would be a violation before me for you to put that in front of this jury.
In the September 17, 2000.
You were saying to the court that you have a belief that there is another statement out there. There's not.
How could you say that?
Because it hasn't been brought up. If it gets brought up, then we'll correct it at that point in time. But right now, I'm going to direct you not to inquire that line. You don't have a basis to do so.
As Young Thug's lawyers are making the claim that they need to lie about evidence against Thug because they literally have no evidence. The one piece of evidence they are trying to get into the case so bad comes from Adrian Bean. The Atlanta police are trying to use evidence against Young Thug that Adrian told them in 2013. However, now in 2024, Adrian says he doesn't remember giving it to them. The original report reads, keep in mind, Adrian is not bound by a plea deal. He was a part of a 2013 crime where 4 were involved but 1 escaped and was never caught. They need Adrian to snitch on Young Thug on the stand like he did in 2013, but now he refuses. As the one person that escaped was Young Thug. Adrian originally snitched on Young Thug in 2013 and told the police he was the one that escaped. However, he was never arrested for it due to them not having the evidence at the time. But because the police took over a decade to start the RICO takedown of Atlanta, Adrian has now forgot about the crime and and who was the one that escaped.
After you answer the question, which you have to do.
Because I don't remember nothing that happened in 2013. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
I understand. What I have to do is ask you some questions and determine what you do and don't remember. So, what is your response as to whether or not you recognize the images shown in Defendant's Exhibit number 8?
I don't remember.
All right. And I'm going to show you Defendant's Exhibit number 81. Do you recognize what's shown there?
No, ma'am.
All right. What about number 101 for Defendant Exhibits?
You see a car, but I don't remember it.
Okay, that's fine. Is your answer the same for Defendant's Exhibit number 82, number 89, and Defendant's Exhibit 90?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, lots can happen within 11 years. The crime did occur in 2013. Some sources claim YSL members could have paid Adrian off to not snitch, but others believe that he's telling the truth and that he actually did forget about the crime, as Adrian would go on to reveal why he forgot.
I really don't have any knowledge about 2013, ma'am. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. I don't really have any knowledge about 2013. Once I went to prison and came home from prison and done my time, everything that happened in 2013 or whatever has been put behind me and set forth. So I've been, working and just doing my thing since I came home from prison. I don't have no knowledge of nothing that happened 10 years ago.
Because without the evidence from Adrian Bean, the only two pieces of evidence they have against Young Thug in 2 years of doing the YSL RICO case comes from a police investigator who would reveal that Lil Wayne has the same street affiliation as Young Thug.
And are you familiar with who this individual is?
I am.
And who is that?
It's Dwayne Carter.
Okay. And does he have another name that he goes by?
He does.
And what is that?
Lil Wayne.
And are you aware, through any of your non-training experience, if Mr. Carter, Dwayne Carter, self-identifies as a member of?
I believe that he does.
Okay. Tell the jury if you need to stand with the stick and point to what those identifiers are within Defense Exhibit 31.
There's a large MOB across his chest, often used particularly by West Coast, but is used across the country. He has 5 red 5-point stars across his chest.
As the investigator is trying to prove to the jury that rappers have street affiliation, as the second rapper they would then bring up is YNW Melly, where he would go on to expose that Melly allegedly has street ties connected to Young Thug.
Same thing, the use of the slap term, 5-point star, snake. He's saying he's YSL, he's hanging with Young Thug, and he puts up his YNW for life hashtag on it with the 5-point star as well. Mr. Demons has big B hand signs displayed.
Right, and see with individuals again, I'm assuming that's also Young Thug. That's also unknown.
Yes.
Also important to your investigation, correct?
Yes.
Also publicly available for anyone to see and capture.